US President Donald Trump has tweeted saying that migrants will only be allowed into the country legally, adding that they won't be allowed until their claims are approved by the court. Trump said that US policy is very strict, which is to catch and detain. He added that US will not put up with this costly and dangerous situation anymore after decades of abuse. The southern border will be closed if it becomes necessary. The Yellow Vest protests against fuel prices in France have entered their second week. In Paris, French government has said that nearly 81,000 Yellow Vests had taken to the streets by mid-afternoon on Saturday. The demonstrators are opposed to taxes that Macron introduced last year on the diesel and petrol prices, which are designed to encourage people to shift to more environmentally friendly transport. President Emmanuel Macron lashed out at the protesters on Twitter because the protesters had turned violent. Fires broke out on the Champs-Élysées in Paris. This after protests turned violent. The police fired tear gas and also used water cannon to disperse protesters. Protesters threw stones at them and lit fires on the street. Security forces were trying to gain control while fires burned till it became dark. About 8,000 people protested in Paris. Tens of thousands of women and men took to the streets across France to denounce sexism and sexual violence. Protesters called on the government to make a fight against gender-based violence a top priority, while investing more resources in assistance to victims. In Paris, 12,000 men and women of all ages marched, chanting slogans and signing hits by famous female artists. Similar protests were held in 50 French cities, and organizers claim that 50,000 people participated countrywide. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez said that a deal had been reached on Gibraltar, clearing the way for an EU summit today to approve a Brexit deal with British Prime Minister Theresa May. Sánchez said that any future decisions regarding Gibraltar would be made with Spain. British and Spain negotiations, or the negotiation talks through the night with EU officials, were trying to broker a deal that would reassure Madrid on how the Brexit treaties would apply to Gibraltar and give it a clear say on their application. British Prime Minister Theresa May has met with the EU President Jean-Claude Juncker and the European Council President Donald Tusk ahead of the signing of the crucial Brexit deal at the European Union summit. Theresa May says that the UK will always stand by Gibraltar after Spain gave assurances to unblock the EU's Brexit deal with London. The UK is scheduled to leave the EU on 29th of March 2019. Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj has said that she won't be able to attend the Kartarpur Sahib corridor groundbreaking ceremony in Pakistan. But Swaraj says that she has prior commitments due to electoral campaigns in Telangana. The minister wrote to Pakistan Foreign Minister saying that Indian Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal and Hardeep Singh Puri will be attending the ceremony. Islamabad had extended an invitation to External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh will also attend the groundbreaking ceremony at the Kartarpur Sahib on 28th of November this year. Meanwhile, PTI leader Faisal Javed Khan also telephoned Punjab Minister Navjot Singh Sidhu to extend an invitation and convey Prime Minister Imran Khan's message. Sidhu had confirmed his attendance for the ceremony that is scheduled for November 28th this year. Sidhu had earlier visited Pakistan, remember, in August to attend Imran Khan's swearing-in ceremony that stoked massive controversy in India. Ayodhya is set to witness massive mobilization. The Vishwa Hindu Parishad, or the VHP, and Uddhav Thackeray are scheduled to hold Dharam Sabha in Ayodhya Dharam Sabha is likely to be attended by over 2 lakh people. Security has been beefed up in Ayodhya with thousands of police and paramilitary personnel keeping a strict watch to keep the situation under control. Also, Section 144 has been imposed in many areas. Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray has given a Ram Mandir ultimatum in Ayodhya. Thackeray says that he wants the date for the temple construction to be finalized. The Shiv Sena Supremo offered prayers with his family in a grand ceremony at the banks of the Sarayu River. Thackeray will be visiting the site of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya. The visit comes at a time when Ayodhya issue has once again gained momentum due to comments by various Hindu outfits. Indonesian authorities have identified the body of the Indian pilot Captain Bhavya Suneja, who had captained the ill-fated Lion Air Flight JT610, which crashed into the Java Sea on October 29th. Minister of External Affairs Sushma Swaraj took to Twitter to confirm the news. She offered her condolences and said that the remains will be handed over to the family. Today, the Lion Air flight was scheduled to take off from Jakarta to Sumatra on October 29. It plunged into the Java Sea coast just a few minutes after the takeoff. Me Too has hit Sotheby's. The auction house is India's managing director. Gaurav Bhatia has proceeded on leave after a series of sexual harassment allegations were levelled against him on social media. A statement by Sotheby's said that Bhatia has taken a leave of absence pending an investigation into the charges. At least 4 anonymous allegations have emerged against Bhatia on social media in the last 10 days. Syrian regime forces took back control of the last ISIL hideout in southern Syria after weeks of fighting, leaving the group isolated in 2 small pockets in the northeast area. Government troops forced the ISIL fighters to withdraw from the hilly and the desert region of Tulul al-Safa, located nearly 300 kilometers southeast of Damascus. It was ISIL's last hideout in southern part of the war-torn country and one of its only remaining enclaves now. Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen resigned as the chairwoman of the ruling pro-independence Democratic Progressive Party after it suffered a major electoral setback. Losing 2 of the Indian island's most important posts of the mayoral elections in the run-up to the elections, Tsai and her government repeatedly said that China was attempting to sway the election results with its political bullying and fake news accusations that Beijing, of course, denied. Tsai, meanwhile, said that she would not accept the resignation of her premier, William Lai, who had offered to quit earlier in the evening. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that the US uses Islamic State as an excuse to maintain military presence in Syria and accused the US of being more focused on overthrowing Assad's regime than fighting terrorism. Lavrov said, and he also commented on the British Army chief, who had said in an interview that Russia poses a far greater threat, quote-unquote, to UK security than the Islamic State. A previously unopened sarcophagus was opened for the first time as 2 Egyptian discoveries were unveiled in Luxor's West Bank. And this contained a well-preserved mummy of a woman named Thuya and dates to the 18th century Egyptian dynasty. It was discovered earlier this month by a French-led mission in another region of El Asasif, along with another anthropid which is opened and examined. Earlier in the day, a tomb belonging to the Thoract, the overseer of the mummification shrine, was unveiled along with 1,000 small wooden and clay statues. Britain's Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle will move to Windsor Castle next year to prepare for the birth of their first child. The couple will move from Nottingham Cottage at Kensington Palace to Frogmore House on the Windsor estate. Since their engagement last year, Harry and Meghan had lived at Nottingham Cottage in the grounds of Kensington Palace. Harry and Meghan are expecting the first child in spring of next year.